To build a massive, multi-layered track, you don't actually need a full band in the room. You can engineer every piece of a stadium-sized mix right from a single desk. All it requires are two pieces of core hardware, a multi-effects pedal for your physical instruments, and a MIDI controller to generate the digital ones. We are going to route, record, and arrange a complete song from scratch, handling the heavy drums, the bass and brass, and the guitars entirely solo. By locking in the correct hardware to software routing, you remove the physical bottlenecks of traditional recording. You can build a wall of sound on your own schedule. Step 1 is building our foundation. Connect the MIDI controller directly to your computer using a standard USB cable, open your digital audio workstation, and insert a new blank track. Next, load a virtual drum kit onto that track. To ensure the software is actually listening to the controller, click the track's Record Arm button. The controller pads are velocity sensitive. Striking lightly produces a quiet tap. Hitting hard triggers a loud crack, recording dynamic rhythm parts by hand. This animated diagram shows the piano roll interface. Playing keyboard keys generates this sequence of MIDI data. To hear the brass while playing, activate the input monitoring switch, routing the live signal to your headphones. Establishing these digital drums and horns first gives us a strict tempo and groove. We need this locked in before we pick up a physical instrument. Now we move to the physical performance. Go ahead and plug your electric guitar directly into the multi-effects pedal, and in your software preferences, select that pedal as your primary audio interface. We want to capture both our finalized amp tone and a clean backup signal at the exact same time. To do that, create two new separate audio tracks. This diagram shows how the pedal splits the guitar signal. Route your first track's input to USB 1 and 2, capturing the finalized amp tone. For the second track, set the input to USB 7 and 8, grabbing the raw direct input signal. Because the pedal is processing the sound directly, you hear it instantly through zero latency hardware monitoring. If the sound traveled into the software and back out, you'd experience a slight delay, known as software monitoring. To prevent hearing a distracting, delayed echo of your own playing, make sure software monitoring is explicitly turned off on both tracks before you hit record. By recording the raw DI signal alongside the processed one, you create an insurance policy. If you nail a highly difficult technical run, you never have to throw away that perfect physical performance just because the distortion setting was wrong. Sometimes a heavy guitar tone sounds great in isolation, but once the performance is finished, you realize it completely clashes with the bass and drums. This routing schematic illustrates the solution. Change the output of your clean DI track to USB 3 and 4, sending the raw audio back into the multi-effects pedal. Hit play in the software. As the pre-recorded dry track feeds through the hardware, you can freely twist the knobs to swap amp models. To capture the new sound, the routing schematic completes the loop, returning the pedal's output back into a fresh audio track. Reamping separates the execution of the music from the engineering. You focus entirely on playing the right notes first and handle the complex sound design later. To add the low end, repeat this exact direct recording process. Plug in a bass guitar and dial in one of the pedal's dedicated bass amplifier models. For the vocals, we switch the physical input. Connect a microphone directly into the XLR port located on the back panel of the multi-effects pedal. Inside the software, insert a new blank audio track and assign its input to capture the microphone signal. The raw vocal will sound highly separated from the instruments. Apply spatial effects like reverb and delay directly on the software track to push the vocal back into the physical space of the instrumental mix. By methodically stacking these individual layers one by one, the final composite audio tricks the listener's ear into hearing a unified band playing together in the same room. This is what the completed project looks like. Notice the sheer density of the color-coded blocks of MIDI data layered directly over the audio waveforms. Using only a multi-effects pedal, a keyboard, and careful routing, a single person can build and mix a massive track without leaving the desk. If this routing breakdown helped your workflow, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what studio techniques you want to see covered next. This video was brought to you by Synestec Systems LLC, founded by Shane Persinger.